If he can find the fire, that man been at the crib, chomping at the bit. That man, he works out with machetes, okay? Like, it's a different type of thing. It's a different type of thing when it comes to Aaron Donald. That man works out with machetes and cutlasses. Like, this is a different type of dude when it comes to Aaron Donald, okay? I think he can find that fire. If the fire is not lit now, that you have the remnants of a really good offense, as Steph said, 2 top 10 wide receivers, the reigning MVP, and you have a play caller that we know is one of them. Not we think he is, maybe, like, no, it's confirmed McVay is one of those. What they think some of these other gurus are, McVay actually is, okay? So from top to bottom, your offense should be good, and they went and upgraded the O-line. Now your D-line could be the most terrorizing thing ever on paper. And I know that sounds like hyperbole, but as an older dude, in my lifetime, I can't think of 2 better plays. Now, again, Aaron Donald, he's not in his prime anymore. He's still really good. He's been retired for a couple seasons now, so, he's not that same dude. But whatever amount he comes back at, 90% Aaron Donald. The fact that you can have Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett on the same D-line, I can't think of a better one. I can't think of 2 better defensive linemen on the same line in my lifetime. I'm really trying to sit here and think. This is not 85 Bears. This is not the Ravens. This is not. I mean, if you want to go crazy and want to give me Reggie White and Jerome Brown, no, because Jerome Brown ain't no Aaron Donald. You could argue Myles Garrett versus Reggie White, but Aaron Donald is better than Jerome Brown, the late, great Jerome Brown. Rest in peace. And Reggie White, rest in peace. That Giants NASCAR line where you had Strahan, OC, Tuck. None of those guys are Aaron Donald or Myles Garrett. Give me the D-line, if this were to happen, that can stand toe-to-toe with potential Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett. I'm sitting here trying to think of one. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Charles Haley with the Niners or the Cowboys. Nope, there wasn't another guy on his level. No, I can't think of one, bro. I really can't. Not a super team. They drafted a QB in the first round. Yeah, but they have the reigning MVP as their QB, though. So, I mean, yes, you could use it as a thing to try to tear them down, but they also have the reigning MVP at QB. So you can't tell me they have the reigning MVP at quarterback, which is still allegedly the most important position in the sport. They have 2 receivers, one for sure top 10. You could argue whether Devontae Adams is still top 10, but he's no more than 15. So 2 upper tier wide receivers, including one that could be top 5. A really good running back, an upgraded offensive line, a defense that's been bolstered in the secondary, and now on the D line, it could potentially add another top tier D lineman on top of that. You can't say that that's not a super team. Corey says Adam got hurt running standard routes last year. He won't play all season. Again, look, will he be ready for January? You don't need, again, if you're a super team, you don't need Devontae Adams for all 17 games. You don't. You need him for January. You need him to be ready and fresh, ready to go for January for the playoff push. That's kind of like, KD with the Warriors. KD with the Warriors, they didn't need KD for a January game against the Brooklyn Nets. Didn't need him. They needed him in May and June. Those were the games that mattered that entire season. You go 73-9 and you lie and you trick off that 3-1 lead. It didn't matter about the 73. It mattered that you tricked off that 3-1 lead. You go get Kevin Durant to help you not trick off a 3-1 lead. Patrick McAfee text AD about retirement yesterday too. Look, I mean, if it's a no-brainer for Aaron Donald. And again, you can play this in a way where you don't even need Aaron Donald to pull up right away. Like, you don't need Aaron Donald for no OTAs. You don't need Aaron Donald for OTAs. You don't need Aaron Donald for 3/4 of the season. Tell Aaron Donald, we just need you to get that fire lit that you claim you need that fire lit, right? Go get that fire lit, and I'll come off screen here. Go get that fire lit, and then slowly work your way up. Be ready by Thanksgiving. We don't need you in September or October. Start ramping up to be ready for post-Thanksgiving. Be ready for Kwanzaa Eve. Be ready for that time frame. The Rams do not, unless Myles Garrett goes out there and blows an ACL or an Achilles, you tell Aaron Donald, if you're coming back, take your time. There is no rush. We don't need you until the winter pulls up. We don't even need you when the leaves turn brown. We need you when that winter chill is coming in. And again, you're in LA, you're not even going to feel it like that. They need that man for post-Thanksgiving around Kwanzaa Eve. That's when you want to see Aaron Donald on the field. If you're playing that game. If you're playing that game for the Rams, you want to see Aaron Donald on the field on the back half of the year, as opposed to let's rush to get him ready right now. He does not need to have his fire lit right now. That man does not need to be doing OTAs. That man does not need to be doing any of this stuff. Let him play with the machetes and the cutlasses at the crib and have him ready for Kwanzaa Eve. Then put him on the field. Then let's see how this cooks up. Because when you have those two types of players, they don't need chemistry. There's no chemistry. Aaron Donald could play any of the 4 positions on the line. Myles Garrett could play any of the 4 positions on the line. You could do them on the same side, opposite ends, put 2 of them in the middle, do whatever you want. Just let them cook up. They don't need 5 months of prep to figure out what to do with arguably 2 of the most dominant defensive players we've ever seen being on the same line at the same time. Corey, more of a season, why the pick made no sense. More of a reason why, because they had well, look, here's the deal, right? And I'll be clear with y'all. Me and Steph chopped it up in the group chat, and we were trying to figure that out. Like, what's the play with Simpson? Why take Simpson now as opposed to waiting? If you're trying to win now, which every team should be, but it's sports and it's business and we know how it gets down. But if we're under the guise of the Rams are trying to win now, why did they do what they did in the draft in terms of drafting Simpson? I'm still of the fact of if Snead is on that fuck them picks wave, which he has always been, he's been 10 toes down about them picks, fuck them picks, right? If he's on that wave, but he felt enough about Simpson to not fuck them picks, but actually use the pick to go get Simpson, then that's how highly he believes in Simpson. We may not see it, and certainly from the video evidence and then quotes that came out right after, McVay might not see it. But clearly, the dude that is in control of them picks saw something. Okay? So, be that as it may, we have to, because of what he's done, and now we got to start to maybe bump him into some of these conversations with the upper tier of GMs. We have to start paying attention to what he's doing and give him that grace, give him that benefit of the doubt like we do with others. Steph, let me see if I can move this chat thing over. Okay, I can't move that over. All right, get in there QB early who can learn behind the reigning MVP is a steal. Mahomes set behind Alex Smith. Imagine Ty behind Stafford. Not saying Ty is Patty, but yeah, I mean, look. That's the key, right? Like, I don't see this as a thing where Simpson's going to sit behind Stafford for 3 to 4 years like Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. I don't see this as a Montana Steve Walsh thing or a Montana Steve Young thing. I don't see this actually low key. I mean, it's a different scenario, but you could paint this as a Kurt Warner, Eli Manning thing. Like, you can, if you think Stafford is still that. I have my reservations against Stafford. Will always have my reservations against Stafford. That could be my time as a Bear fan back in the earlier part of my life. Still, have some remnants of that left. But if y'all think Stafford is one of those, he's not getting any younger. He's long in the tooth. You're going to assume he's going to be on that Brady avocado ice cream wave, but he could just keep playing at a high level well into his 40s. I don't see that in Matt Stafford. So if that's the case, you're going to have some kind of replacement waiting in the tuck. So if you think Simpson is that, then you go get Simpson. We don't have to see it. We don't have to agree with it. But if Lee Snead thinks that that's the guy, even against the behest of his own coach, who's one of them, then who are we to judge? We got to at least let it happen. If it fails, and then we'll roast him for it like we do with everything else. But he has been clear on that fuck them picks wave. So if he then comes to a position where he doesn't fuck them picks and he actually uses the pick, then we have to say, oh, well, he must really be high on Simpson. Patrick, 75% Aaron is plenty for the Rams. Yeah, I mean, look, if you have Myles Garrett in his prime and a 75% Aaron Donald for the back half stretch run is light years better than what they trotted out there last year trying to beat the Seahawks. Okay, so if you can have that, that's still shitting on 90% of the D-lines in the entire league. A 75% Aaron Donald with 100% Myles Garrett. Steph Riddle came off the couch and did it. AD is a freak. I think he got it in him. No, for sure. I think that there is no doubt that if you told Aaron Donald, relax and ramp up and be ready post-Thanksgiving, that's light work. That's light work for him. I think he could definitely do that. I think that there's no way that there's not a scenario for me where Aaron Donald comes back and is not him. Barring injury. Anything could happen, right? Football field, they could play at MetLife with that shitty turf and stuff could happen. But assuming everything is above board, Aaron Donald comes back and 75% Aaron Donald, I think, can legitimately walk onto the field and still be a top 10 D lineman right now. If we give him the chance to ramp up and fire up and be ready post-Thanksgiving, I think he could still walk in and be top 5